Have you ever felt like something is wrong with the world, like there's a hidden presence watching you from the shadows of everyday life? What if I told you they have always been here, not up in the skies, but among us? In this video, you're going to discover the truth that's never been revealed about the Greys, the beings long dismissed as myths, but who are now finally being exposed. Let's get straight to it. You'll understand who the Greys really are, what they want from humanity, and how their secret actions may already be affecting your life, your work, your thoughts, your decisions. This video brings together shocking information, leaked documents, and real-life accounts that have been hidden for decades. If you're looking for answers about mind control, mass manipulation, and abductions, this is the video you need to watch. Have you had strange dreams with faceless beings? Ever felt like someone was influencing your thoughts for no reason? Wondered why certain events in the world feel scripted? Then stay with me until the end, because you're about to walk away with your eyes wide open, ready to see what's been right in front of you all along. Pouca gente sabe, mas os famosos alienígenas cinzentos, ou Greys, como ficaram conhecidos, são associados há décadas ao sistema estelar Zeta Reticuli, um sistema binário que, apesar de discreto para nossos telescópios, parece esconder mais do que apenas estrelas. Os relatos antigos, vindos principalmente de abduzidos e contatos imediatos, falam de seres que não apenas vieram de lá, mas que vivem aqui há muito mais tempo do que imaginamos. As primeiras menções públicas surgiram nos anos 60, mas há indícios que apontam para civilizações antigas que já relatavam figuras semelhantes. Coincidência? Ou parte de uma missão extraterrestre bem calculada? Não é raro encontrar documentos e registros, embora desacreditados, por muitos que detalham viagens interplanetárias de civilizações com habilidades muito além da nossa. Para os estudiosos das evidências extraterrestres, os Greys seriam apenas a ponta do iceberg de uma agenda alienígena muito maior. Segundo esses estudos, o deslocamento deles até a Terra não seria apenas científico, mas estratégico. Estabelecer postos avançados, infiltrar-se em sociedades humanas e monitorar de perto o nosso comportamento. Curioso, né? Parece mais enredo de filme, até você se deparar com os padrões que não param de se repetir. E o mais intrigante é que essas histórias não vêm apenas de um canto do mundo. Relatos parecidos sobre avistamentos de OVNIs, naves silenciosas e contatos com seres de olhos negros surgem tanto no interior do Brasil quanto em regiões remotas da Rússia e no meio de desertos americanos. Uma narrativa global que, aos poucos, vai conectando pontos. Como se todas essas culturas estivessem descrevendo o mesmo grupo. E se for isso mesmo, se estivermos falando de uma base alienígena secreta operando sob nossos pés, mas antes de irmos tão fundo, vale entender melhor quem são esses Greys por fora, porque o que vemos, muitas vezes, diz mais do que o que ouvimos. Few people realize that the famous alienígenas, cinzentos, or Greys, have long been associated with the Zeta Reticuli star system. This binary star system, barely noticeable through our basic telescopes, may be hiding much more than just starlight. Ancient accounts from abductees and close encounter cases mention beings who didn't just visit Earth, they may have always been here. Though modern media picked this up around the 1960s, older civilizations have carved and described similar entities. Is it all coincidence, or the carefully crafted path of a long-standing mission extraterrestre? It's not uncommon to find scattered reports and classified documents often dismissed by officials that describe interstellar travel far beyond human comprehension. Some researchers of Evidencias Extraterrestres believe the Greys are only the visible layer of a vast and ongoing agenda alienigena. Their arrival here, they say, was not by accident. It was strategic, to observe, infiltrate, and possibly prepare for something bigger. Sound far-fetched? Maybe until you notice the repeating patterns. And here's the strange part. These sightings and encounters aren't limited to one region. From deep within Brazil's forests to Russia's icy fields and America's deserts, people describe the same thing: large black eyes, smooth gray skin, eerily silent crafts. It's as if cultures worldwide are retelling different versions of the same story. Could that point to a single, organized presence? Could there be a base alienígena secreta operating right under our feet? But before we go deeper, let's take a closer look at what these beings actually look like, because their physical traits might reveal more than they let on. Anyone who's ever seen a documentario alienígena or read eyewitness accounts probably has a pretty clear mental image of the alienígenas cinzentos. Short in stature, often no more than 4 feet tall, with smooth, grayish skin and heads that seem way too large for their frail bodies. Their most striking feature? Those massive, black, almond-shaped eyes that seem to look through you, not just at you. They lack ears, noses, and even genitals, raising unsettling questions about their biology or their origins. Some speculate that this appearance isn't even their true form, but rather a genetically engineered body designed for specific tasks on Earth. Others believe these forms are biosuits or synthetic avatars used to carry out their mission extraterrestrial. Think about it, if you were a civilization capable of interdimensional travel, wouldn't you design something practical, efficient, and emotionless to do your work in a foreign environment? And the lack of visible communication tools? That might point toward mental or telepathic interaction, often reported in cases of abdução alienígena. Their strange anatomy, especially the absence of reproductive organs, has sparked theories connecting them to manipulação genética and hybrid programs. If they can't reproduce naturally, what's the next best option? Tapping into human DNA, perhaps? Their bodies reflect not only evolutionary drift but also intent. Cold, calculated design choices that hint at a species more focused on survival and control than emotion or connection. But as mysterious as they look, their real motives are even harder to decipher. When it comes to the alienígenas cinzentos, the biggest question isn't who they are, it's what do they want. Despite countless avistamientos de ovnis and abduction stories, their true intentions remain buried in layers of silence. Some claim the Greys have a purely scientific agenda, collecting samples and data like cosmic anthropologists. Others are convinced their mission is far more complex, possibly involving control, colonization, or even survival. But here's the thing, they never explain themselves. Most of what we know about their motives comes from scattered memories, hypnotic regressions, or fragments of communication that seem deliberately vague. It's as if they want us to think we understand, while keeping the truth out of reach. Could that be part of the agenda alienígena? A strategy of confusion, where we're too uncertain to resist or react? Those who have experienced abdução alienígena often report a strange mix of fear and calm, as if their emotions were being manipulated. That emotional fog might be more telling than any spoken word. What drives them might not be logical to us because their goals could span centuries or dimensions. Are they here to study us, alter us, or prepare us for something? Are they helping or hunting? And if they don't need to explain themselves, what does that say about the power balance between them and us? These are the questions that keep researchers, scientists, and believers awake at night. But if their actions speak louder than words, the next topic might hold the clearest clues yet. Among all the theories surrounding the alienígenas cinzentos, none is more chilling or more consistent than the global pattern of abdução alienígena. From rural farmers to commercial pilots, people across all backgrounds report eerily similar experiences: lost time, sudden paralysis, bright lights, and strange, cold environments. Many wake up with marks, implants, or fragmented memories of experiments. These aren't isolated events, they're part of something much larger, a systematic process that suggests coordination, not coincidence. These abductions often include invasive medical procedures, particularly involving reproductive organs, brain scans, or genetic material extraction. It raises the disturbing possibility that we are being farmed, not for food, but for information or even DNA. Victims speak of emotionless beings performing tasks with mechanical precision. And when the Governo e Alienígenas remains silent about these incidents, people are left to draw their own conclusions. Are we being studied, modified, or slowly replaced? Interestingly, many abductees report that they weren't harmed physically, at least not in the traditional sense. But the psychological scars? They're deep. Nightmares, PTSD, and the constant fear of being taken again are common. And here's where it gets darker. Some believe these abductions are part of a long-term plan to create hybridos beings that could walk among us undetected. If that's true, then what we're dealing with isn't just a curiosity, it's a mission. And it leads directly into the next layer of this agenda alienigena. One of the most controversial and deeply unsettling aspects of the agenda alienigena is the theory that the alienígenas cinzentos are actively engaging in genetic manipulation, and not just in a lab on their homeworld, but right here, using abducidos as unwilling participants. Reports frequently describe procedures involving eggs, sperm, or even unborn fetuses. It's not science fiction anymore when enough voices around the world are echoing the same experience, being used to create something not entirely human. The question then becomes, why? If the Greys are so advanced, why would they need our DNA? Some researchers suggest their own species is on the verge of collapse, genetically degraded from cloning or a lack of diversity. So they turn to us rich in biological variety as a last hope. And if you think this is far-fetched, consider this. Countless evidencias extraterrestrials point to cases where the abducted reported contact with hybrid children who felt familiar, like their own. Now, imagine the implications. What if entire generations of hybridos are being created without our knowledge? What if these beings are already among us, blending in, carrying the traits of both species? The idea sounds like science fiction until you start connecting the dots from real-life testimonies. This isn't just about experiments, it's about infiltração alienígena. And if hybrid creation is just one phase, what comes next could be even more unsettling. The concept of alien-human hybrids might sound like the stuff of tabloid headlines, but for many abductees, it's a haunting reality. During episodes of Abdução Alienígena, numerous individuals have described encounters with beings that looked almost human, but not quite. Larger eyes, smoother skin, and an aura that felt both familiar and alien. These are the híbridos, the supposed result of manipulação genética by the alienígenas cinzentos as part of their larger agenda alienígena. In many of these accounts, abductees report a strange emotional bond with these hybrid beings, as if there were a parental connection. Some even claim to have been shown their children aboard ships, fragile, curious, and silently observing. These aren't just stories. They form a pattern so widespread that it can't be ignored. The theory goes, the Greys are merging their failing species with ours, creating a bridge between worlds. A new kind of life one that could walk Earth undetected, yet be tied to a base alienígena secreta. But here's where things get even more complex. If these hybrids truly exist, where are they now? Are they hidden, integrated into society, or maybe still being developed in off-world labs or underground facilities? This raises questions not only about science, but about identity, control, and purpose. And if the Greys are blending their genetics with ours, it only makes sense that they'd be watching how we evolve. Which takes us to something even deeper, their role as long-term observers of humanity itself. One of the lesser discussed, but incredibly important theories is that the alienígenas cinzentos have been silently observing us for centuries, maybe even millennia. Not just showing up randomly in avistamientos de ovnis, but actively tracking human behavior, development, and emotion, like cosmic scientists with front-row seats to the human experiment. Their role might not be to interfere, but to document, analyze, and maybe even guide. Think of it as part of a long-running missão extraterrestre, where Earth is the subject and we're the unpredictable variable. Historical records, from cave paintings to ancient texts, contain figures eerily similar to the Greys. Coincidence? Or breadcrumbs? Some believe these beings have been monitoring key shifts in our species, the rise of language, the birth of agriculture, even spiritual awakenings. They seem fascinated by our growth and by our chaos. Could it be that they're collecting data to understand what makes us tick so they can replicate or control it? That would fit neatly into the larger agenda alienigena. Now here's the eerie part. If they've been watching this long, then they likely know our weaknesses, patterns, and potential better than we do. This isn't passive interest, it's surveillance at an unimaginable scale. It's like having a silent observer in every room of human history, never blinking, never forgetting. And maybe, just maybe, that's why some people feel watched without reason. But what if their observation isn't just visual, but mental? That opens the door to a chilling next step. If watching us wasn't enough, many reports suggest the alienígenas cinzentos are capable of influencing human thoughts, emotions, and even decisions, all without speaking a word. During abdução alienígena experiences, people often describe a strange emotional numbness or sudden calm in moments that should be terrifying. Others report hearing thoughts that weren't their own, or feeling compelled to act in ways they couldn't explain. This points to something deeper than surveillance. It's mental infiltração alienígena. Experts in the field propose that the Greys might be using advanced neurotechnology or even direct consciousness interface to override human responses. And not just in isolated cases, what if this kind of influence is being tested on a larger scale? That fear you couldn't explain, that recurring dream, that moment of overwhelming anxiety, could it be more than just stress? It's a bold question, but one worth asking, especially when you consider how emotional detachment is often linked to the Greys' own behavior, cold, calculated, and deeply methodical. Some theories go even further, suggesting this control, mental, emotional is part of conditioning, softening us, bit by bit, for some future integration. If true, it aligns disturbingly well with their reported lack of empathy and their supposed hybridization goals. Manipulating how we feel would be the first step to making us more like them, or making them more like us. And if they have the power to influence minds, what kind of technology are they really working with? That's where it gets next level. There's one thing nearly everyone agrees on. The alienígenas cinzentos possess technology far beyond anything on Earth. From silent, shape-shifting spacecraft seen in avistamientos de OVNIs to instruments used during abdução alienígena that defy our understanding of physics. It's clear we're dealing with a civilization operating on a different level. They don't fly, they warp space, they don't communicate, they transmit thoughts. It's not just tech, it's interdimensional engineering. Researchers speculate that these beings may harness energy from dark matter, manipulate gravity, or even shift between dimensions, which would explain why their ships often vanish without a trace. Some insiders claim the Governo y alienígenas have exchanged access to humans in return for this tech. Sounds wild, right? Until you consider the sudden leap in our own military capabilities over the last 70 years. Could secret collaborations be feeding a new wave of silent, elite advancement? And it's not just flying saucers. Some reports suggest the Greys use devices that interact directly with human consciousness, scanning memories, suppressing fear, or even altering perception of time. Ever had a dream so vivid it felt like it happened, or lost hours without reason? These could be signs of tech not made by us. And if they wield this kind of power, it begs the question, why do they act so coldly? That question leads to a much darker truth about who or what they really are. Unlike other beings reported in extraterrestrial encounters who are often described as loving, peaceful, or spiritually advanced, the alienígenas cinzentos are strikingly cold. No smiles, no warmth, no sense of empathy. Their actions during abdução alienígena events are methodical, clinical, and completely detached. It's as if we're not seen as living beings, but as biological data points. Many abductees say it felt like being handled by machines, not minds. This emotional void is one of the biggest reasons people fear them. Imagine being face to face with something intelligent, maybe even superior, that sees no value in your suffering, your feelings, or your humanity. It changes the entire dynamic of the agenda alienígena. If their goals involve hybridization or long-term infiltração alienígena, that lack of empathy could make them incredibly dangerous, because they might do what they believe is logical, even if it destroys us in the process. And yet, this very trait might be a clue. What if their lack of emotion isn't natural, but the result of losing something essential during their evolution? Could their interest in humans be less about science and more about recovering what they lost: empathy, soul, connection? It's a haunting thought, and one that leads us to a much broader question. Are they guiding us, or are we the ones being shaped into something else? the alienígenas cinzentos aren't the kind to show up on live TV and announce themselves, at least, not yet. Their strategy appears to be subtle, calculated, and long-term. Instead of flying over major cities, they work quietly through avistamientos de ovnis in rural skies, whispered contact experiences, and hidden experiments. This is what many believe to be an intervenção indirecta, influencing human civilization without ever stepping fully into the spotlight. Like chess masters, they move silently, but with purpose. Some researchers argue that key moments in history, technological revolutions, social shifts, even global conflicts, may have been subtly nudged by non-human hands. Think about it. How do we go from propeller planes to advanced jets and near AI within just a few decades? Could it be that behind every leap, there's a missão extraterrestre steering the course, one invisible thread at a time? And if that's true, the agenda alienígena might be unfolding right under our noses. The scariest part, we might never even notice. That's the brilliance of indirect control. It doesn't require force, just influence. A gentle suggestion here, a technological gift there, maybe even an idea planted through dreams or media. And if they're already playing the long game, who else might be helping them move the pieces? That brings us face to face with one of the most debated possibilities of all: hidden deals between governo y alienígenas. For decades, whispers of secret deals between governo y alienígenas have circulated through underground forums, leaked documents, and insider testimonies. The theory? That powerful global factions made pacts with the alienígenas cinzentos, exchanging access to human subjects for advanced technology. Sounds outrageous until you start noticing patterns. Sudden military tech breakthroughs, massive black budget projects, a government that always seems just a little too quiet when avistamientos de ovnis spike. Allegedly, these agreements go back to the mid-20th century, when early evidencias extraterrestres began surfacing. Some claim entire facilities, like Area 51 or deep bases in Antarctica, were constructed specifically for this collaboration. In return, the Greys gained something even more valuable to them than materials: biological access, human DNA, behavior tracking, consent-free experimentation under the blind eye of silence. And the public? Left in the dark while the agenda alienígena marches forward. If this is true, even partly, then it reframes everything we know about global power. It means some human authorities aren't just aware of infiltração alienígena, they may be helping it. Whether through silence, distraction, or full-on cooperation, these hidden alliances paint a chilling picture. And where do these operations happen? Certainly not in places we can see, which takes us directly underground to what many believe are the real command centers of this ongoing mission. Beneath our feet, in places the public will never access, many believe there are vast bases, alienígenas, secretas, where the alienígenas, cinzentos, operate away from human eyes. These aren't caves or bunkers. We're talking about high-tech, multi-dimensional facilities carved into mountains, deserts, and even beneath oceans. Whistleblowers from military and black ops backgrounds have described miles of underground tunnels, hybrid labs, and reverse engineering chambers. Places where the agenda alienígena is carried out in silence. One of the most infamous stories is the alleged Dulce base in New Mexico, a supposed joint facility shared by Greys and shadow factions of the Governo y Alienígenas. Reports mention experiments on both humans and hybrids, genetic manipulation, and even conflicts between alien and military personnel. Sound like sci-fi? Maybe. But too many testimonies match up across the globe, especially near hot zones of avistamientos de ovnis. And strange vibrations, magnetic anomalies, and sealed entrances only fuel the fire. The idea here isn't just that these bases exist, but that they're crucial to the Greys' missão extraterrestre. Safe zones for developing new tech, raising hybrids, or storing knowledge humans aren't ready to access. What's going on under the surface might be more important than anything happening above it. And if these hidden strongholds are real, we need to ask, what are the Greys trying to preserve or protect? If there's one theory that ties all the others together, it's this: The alienígenas cinzentos are here because they have to be. Not to conquer, not to explore, but to survive. Many researchers believe their species is on the verge of collapse, suffering from genetic exhaustion after millennia of cloning and technological overdependence. The agenda alienigena might not be about domination, it might be about desperation. Earth may be their last real chance to restore what they've lost. This would explain the relentless abdução alienígena reports, the obsession with hybridization, and the silent construction of bases alienígenas secretas. If you were a dying species, wouldn't you seek out a planet rich in diversity, creativity, and emotional range like ours? And wouldn't you do whatever it takes to ensure your own continuity? From this angle, their missão extraterrestre becomes clearer. They aren't just observers or manipulators, they're architects of their own rebirth. But here's the twist. If they are rebuilding their species using our DNA, what does that mean for us? Will the hybrids inherit both worlds or belong to neither? And what happens when a new generation of part human, part grey beings starts to question who they are and what they were created for? That's where things start crossing into a realm far deeper and far stranger than biology. Not everything about the alienígenas cinzentos fits neatly into nuts and bolts science. In fact, many experiences with them feel more like spiritual phenomena than physical encounters. People speak of being pulled through walls, interacting in dreamlike states, or seeing the greys vanish into thin air. That's why some believe these beings aren't just extraterrestrial, they're interdimensional. Maybe their missão extraterrestre operates across planes of existence we're only beginning to glimpse. This theory opens up wild but fascinating doors. Could their lack of empathy be the result of evolving out of the physical and into a purely mental or energetic state? Are their hybrid programs meant not just to fix genetics, but to anchor themselves into our dimension more fully through bodies that can survive here? Some even claim encounters with greys feel like contact with spirits or beings of light, yet cold and clinical, like something between ghost, AI, and alien. That's where the lines start to blur. And maybe that's the point. If the agenda alienigena has a spiritual layer 1, involving consciousness, soul energy, or frequency, then everything we've discussed so far may be just the surface. The abductions, the tech, the bases, alienígenas, secretas, they could all be part of something much deeper. A transformation, or an invasion, not of our land, but of our very perception of reality. And if that's the case, then what's coming next won't just be physical, it'll be existential. For a long time, some people have felt that something in this world just doesn't add up. An invisible presence, a silent discomfort, as if someone or something has been watching everything all the time. Now, that feeling is starting to make sense. The truth about the grey aliens, the mysterious greys, has finally come to light. And what will be revealed in this video could change the way each viewer sees the world around them. For decades, the public was told that extraterrestrials are just space travelers from distant planets. But what if the real story is completely different? What if these beings aren't arriving, but have always been here, living among us, infiltrating systems, manipulating emotions, influencing governments, and silently carrying out a complex alien agenda? This alien documentary uncovers the hidden layers of abductions, secret pacts, and underground alien bases that fuel this silent operation. Many people may be ignoring important signs in their everyday lives. Memory lapses, strange sensations during sleep, dreams far too vivid to be just imagination. In this video, viewers will gain rare knowledge secrets buried for decades that connect every loose thread in this story. But one thing is certain, after this content, it will be impossible to see the world the same way again. So, now that all this has come to light, what will each person do with this knowledge? Will they go back to their routine as if nothing's changed, or start questioning the systems, the patterns, and the strange sensations they've always ignored? What if the strange dream they had last week wasn't a dream? What if the people around them aren't exactly who they think? Understanding the truth about the alienígenas cinzentos isn't just about curiosity, it's about empowerment. About seeing the bigger picture behind what the media, the government, and even our own minds might try to hide. So, here's the question. What if humanity is being prepared for something and most people are sleeping through it. Now is the time to wake up, question everything, and become aware of the invisible war happening in plain sight. If this video opened your eyes, don't keep that awareness to yourself. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and join a growing community of people ready to uncover what's really going on. There's so much more to reveal, and the next revelation might be the one that changes everything.